Doesn't that look yummy? Hi everyone, that is roasted cauliflower soup, and that's what we're going to make today. And while we're at it, I'm going to throw in a coleslaw salad, just 'cause. Doesn't that look good together? Well, let's get to it. Now our first step is our cauliflower. The one regular head of cauliflower, I'm going to cut it in half, clean it all up, take all the greens off it, and we're going to break it up, and that's going to be our roasted cauliflower. So there you have it, 2 big pieces. Now we're just going to break off the little chunks, and they can be any size you want because we're going to roast them and then puree them down once we're done. And they break off fairly easy. They can be different sizes, just you want to try and keep them somewhat consistent. There. So now I've already got a baking sheet out to use for this. We'll just put them in there for now because I need the counter space. Okay, so that's pretty well all our cauliflower. Let's clean this up and bring out a bowl. So let's dump our cauliflower in there because we got to get it ready to go in the oven. By the way, I've already got the oven preheated to 450. You want it nice and hot. Now to the mix, we're going to add some chili powder. You can also put a little bit of cumin and coriander. I didn't have a coriander, and I don't know, I just didn't want to put any cumin in it. To that, some onion powder and a good drizzle of olive oil. Now we're going to mix it all together. Put it aside. Here's our baking sheet. A little bit of parchment paper, because that just makes cleanup so much more easier. All of our coated cauliflower goes on the sheet, and it's okay if they're touching. They don't have to be completely separate. There we go. Into the 450 degree oven. We're going to roast them for about 25 minutes. This is the halfway mark at 15. We're just going to flip them all over. You can see how the bottoms are starting to get nice and toasty. That's what we're looking for. Back in the oven, we got another 10 minutes-ish to go till they're nice and golden. If you're using 2 pans, you want to rotate the pans up and down too. Here's our food processor. Cauliflower in. Get the lid on once we can figure that out. And puree them up. It really does not take that long. Halfway through, I gotta scrape the sides just to get everything down and mixing around again. Throw the lid back on, do it a second time. And this takes like a minute maybe, each spin. Okay, there's nothing left to do, so that's about as good as I'm gonna get them. We'll put them in a bowl. Here's our soup pot. To that, this is vegetable broth. One. 2. And I ran out. That's supposed to be 3. It's not full, so go get a second one of vegetable stock. 3. And now that I've opened one, we'll put in another one just 'cause. And the last cup is just water. I'm not sure why it didn't dilute the soup. It still tasted good, but I guess if we wanted to stretch the broth. Here's our nice and pureed, roasty cauliflower. Look at that, looks pretty good. And I'm not much of a cauliflower fan, but this really smelled good at this point. Give it a mix, bring that broth and cauliflower up to a boil. And then we're just going to reduce it down to a simmer. Kind of like that. So there it's a boil. We'll turn her down to a simmer and go on to the rest of the stuff. So this is 1/3 cup of cream, heavy cream. You know, if you want it creamier, you can put in a little more, but this was great the way it was. And to that, I got to get my squeezy container of lime, because I need 1 tablespoon of lime. And outside of maybe some salt and pepper, there's your soup, just like that. We'll let that simmer for about 10-15 minutes. Over to our bowl. There you go. Our cauliflower soup. But wait, I promised you a salad. So here's our salad. It's just a bag of coleslaw mix. But our dressing is 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons of mayo, teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a little bit of salt, and if you really want to put more in, you could chop up a little bit of lettuce to go with it. But that's it. Just mix all that together, pour it on the coleslaw mix her up. And there's our coleslaw salad along with the soup. Grab a spoon, and we're in for a great lunch. You're going to enjoy this. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.